Excited about a new season. Obviously, we've got a great opportunity and a challenge against Indiana college football playoff from last year. So I know our team is looking forward to it, and we've had a nice prep. So this will be a good opportunity for us, and excited to get this thing going. So, questions?
Now that you're in game week, how's it feel? Does it feel a little more real now?
Oh, I mean, this is what makes it feel real. You know how much I enjoy this, and this is my favorite part of every week is this sort of thing. So, yeah, no, it feels real. I mean, I think yesterday, Sunday's practice made it feel real. Because it was like a true Sunday and that sort of thing out of the camp thing. You know, we've had some other bonus days that have dealt with Indiana, but they were still in camp. And so you have a lot of meetings with the guys that more than you normally have. So probably yesterday's, which was basically a true Sunday meet, that felt like we're back in it.
Yourself coming from the Big Ten, you got Botros, Zach, both played in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that, like, to be able to relate to the other guys in terms of what to expect?
Well, I mean, very bluntly, I'm probably expecting a more raucous crowd than anyone I'd ever dealt with at Indiana. You know, they're coming off a little bit of a different season, the ones that I dealt with, and they'd had some good other seasons before that, but yeah, I'm expecting that place to be popping pretty good. And we were able to get prepared for an SEC stadium last year, and this will be a different challenge. I think the thing I should probably tell them about is to be aware that there might be a random football that comes on the field at times. They have like a little, I guess it's a 50-yard field in their end zone where little kids play. And I just remember a couple times balls came over there or whatever, and it's like everyone else was so mad. Like, how could that happen? I'm like, I don't know. The kids are having fun. And I think we'll all get over it, So that'd be the one thing. It's right there in that in the end zone there. But yeah, it's a good environment, and it's a passionate fan base. And obviously, it's changing from what it used to be, which is basketball school, into now, being just a athletic school.
Do you almost feel, to some degree, because of the transfer portal, that guys may not be as phased as going into an environment like that because of they've had past experiences, maybe being a part of stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, some guys have been there, some guys haven't. I think you're only as phased as your preparation. I mean, as long as we're giving them an environment where, we're making it pretty loud at practice and things like that. You're going to be really phased and daunted if you're not sure about your preparation going into it. If you feel pretty secure about your preparation, you'll be able to handle that. And I've always felt that way. It's just the guys who maybe they weren't quite confident on the game plan, or they weren't quite confident on some of those things, that those are going to be the issues.
Football-wise, what challenges does Indiana present?
Well, I think first and foremost, they're well coached. They're a well coached team, and I think that's a challenge because they've got a sound scheme and on both sides of the ball and on special teams. And so I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges. Number two is they've got a bunch of guys who have played in big-time football games and been successful, and have played a lot of football. They have that too, and so defensively, they've got a very good defensive line. They've obviously got a middle linebacker who's put up some big-time numbers and is a good player, and they've got the one corner is an excellent player, and the other one is that we think is going to play there. He's good too. He's a good player too. So they do a nice job of not playing a million defenses or a million calls, but executing well with what they do. And I think that execution is probably the biggest challenge that we're going to have in terms of football. The football aspect of it.
That last time you went up against Coach Sig and Harrisonburg was so good, where that was a back and forth game. When you look at this time around, obviously different team, different personnel for him and for you, but when the coaching matchups, kind of break that down for me. Do you go into that with a different approach now that he's in Indiana?
I mean, I think the one thing you were able to see from last year is that, he has a way that he wants to do things. He has, both offensively and defensively. And did it look exactly the same as it did at JMU? No, it didn't, because he had different players. But the overall feel of it was the same. And that's, that's how he was raised in this coaching profession, not only from how he's actually raised, but also, from Coach Saban and things like that of, you have philosophies and there's some unbending things in there that you're going to have, and I think he has those, and then you have to adjust to the personnel that you have, and over time he's done a great job with that, particularly at the quarterback position. It's looked differently with the quarterbacks, but at the same time you can still see that it's the same overall offensive scheme and offensive philosophy.
You guys have played pretty well in these stages. Just kind of the opportunity that you guys have to go out there and play a Big Ten team to open things up and get some eyes on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Commissioner Gill with the Sun Belt has done a great job of making sure that we're on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Plus every week. But obviously, we know there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on us in this game. And people are going to want to see how Indiana responds to success from last year, and so our guys. I'm not naive. Our guys understand that, and our guys know that, and they know that there's going to be a lot of eyes on that, and so it's about making it more about the preparation and the execution than it is about the external factors. That's what's going to be important.
You guys have a history of stepping up in these games against power schools. Last year, it could be argued you outplayed South Carolina. You beat Virginia Tech twice. Can you just comment a little on that?
Well, I think it takes good players and a good plan in order to get that done. Last year was last year, but we had a chance to win that game. We made some mistakes in that game that cost us. And I think that that's a lesson from that is you've got to, anytime you play on the road, you better be as near perfect as you possibly can be if you want to be successful. And so we have to be prepared for that. I thought we were able to overcome some adversity in terms of the lightning delay and things like that, which was great. And there's going to be some adversity in this game, and you've got to go out there and not really worry about the environment. I like them to be able to go out there and kind of do their warm-up however they want, and then we get to the team warm-up. But, that first warm-up when they're out there, that's when I want them to get all that, like, oh, wow, look at this, look at that, and all those sort of things. And then once we get out there as a team, hey, it's about, those, what's happening between the 120 and 53 and a third. So, that's what's really important.
So even on scrimmage, you were playing music during certain times, I think field goal situation. Is that Indiana music or is that just generic music? And have you done that a lot?
We have both. We have some Indiana fight song going and those sort of things. And I like it. It kind of makes me feel like I'm at college football. That's what makes college football different than the NFL, other than, if you're at a couple of the stadiums. But having the band and the band playing and the cheerleaders and all that sort of stuff, the certain songs that, everybody knows and those sort of things. That's what makes college football so special, and that's what makes everyone want to be there and participate in it and things like that. So for our guys, this is one of those things I think maybe gets overlooked is our guys want to play in these environments because this is what college football is about, right? That's why we love when our fans show up and why we're so appreciative that we've averaged over 20,000 fans and our student section showed up last year. So that's the type of environment that when you're a little kid in the backyard and you're throwing or catching a game-winning touchdown pass, like that's the environment you imagine is the band going crazy and all those sort of things. So that this is a great opportunity for our guys to go out there and experience another great environment.
How's the group? What has been the biggest leap that the group has taken from day one of fall camp to now?
I just like the overall mentality that we have. I think we have a lot of player-led leadership, which I think is great. we've always had some great leaders, but I think we just have more of them, right? It doesn't have to just be the leadership council or just the captains. It's a lot of different guys stepping up and saying things, and I think that's probably the thing that I've seen the greatest growth in.
What's Koa's status?
Obviously, you guys have seen him. He's a guy. He's going to do everything he can to make sure that he's out there, and no one loves football more than that guy. So he's going to do everything in his power to be out there.
For week 1?
For week 1, week 12, week 14, you name the week, he's going to do everything he can to be out there.
So you guys, you don't talk about injuries now, and for understandable reasons, but beginning of the conference season, you have to start listing injuries. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's just another thing that we need to get done based on the current climate in college athletics. I think it helps protect our overall team because there's not the people around trying to get information. The information is out there. I still won't talk about injuries because I'll write them down. So I still won't discuss them. So when we get to this point, there will be one on, I believe, Wednesday, and I think one on Saturday morning. So I still won't talk. It won't change your guys' life. I'll tell you that much. So it'll be good.
You've mentioned that your staff members naturally would look ahead to Indiana weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
When did you actually start looking at it? And is that magnified because it's the first game?
Yeah, it wasn't Indiana so much as the first game, and that's not a disrespect for them. You're always going to look at the first game.
Right.
Every single one of us looked at it in the spring. You once the spring is over and you're there, you find yourself looking at it all the way back in the summer and spring and those sort of things. So it's just something that you do for that first game and really even the first upwards of the first 3 games. You do it over the spring, and then there's usually one other one during the season that maybe the offense felt like they needed to watch this team a little bit more. Maybe the defense felt like they needed to watch this team a little bit more. There's usually one other one that you get done, but it's got to be a little bit more about scheme when you're looking at that than it is about the people, because at that point you're still not quite sure who they're going to have. You know a little bit better now, but not the same. But you're looking at it that first game. From now until the end of time, people are going to be looking at that for longer than the only other game that comes close to that would be the bowl game. Is the only other time that gets looked at as much. So,
Therefore, is there JMU film mixed in there?
you're going to take whatever information you have on them, right? There might be some of that mixed in there at times, but again. Coach Ignetti and his staff have done a great job of adapting who they have, and so we have to also understand that they're going to be different. They've grown. He talks about how he has likes to add 1 or 2 little wrinkles every year based on the trends of college football, and so you see those show up where there's some differences from what they were to what they are now. But then there's also some things that are similar. So that it's able to show you kind of what or what you begin to think are their core tenets of how they want to play.
What can a 7th-year offensive lineman impart to the younger players? Is there anything he hasn't seen?
I think what he can impart is his love of football, right? You don't play for that long if you don't love ball, right? And and the way Ryan manifests his love of ball is through his preparation, right? How much tape he's already watched, those sort of things. I think that's the thing that he can show those guys. It's like, he's not just watching tape to say he watched it. He's watching tape to gain an advantage because he loves that part of the game. And I think that's something that shines through the players.
Any other questions for Coach?
Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Any questions? Brian, you want to start us off?
Sure. What does season opening football mean to you?
It's the start of a new year, and football comes around once a year, and it's that time of the year. So I'm super pumped and excited to just get out there.
Is it just different? It's just a different feel? What's that like?
Yeah, I mean, you can just feel it in the air sometimes. You just wake up and know that you got a game in 5 days. Season opener is a big one, and we put in so much work all summer and all winter and spring that it just means so much for it to finally be here.
Colton, this is your first game action at a Power 4 stadium, is that correct?
Yes.
Is there you're excited to play football, of course, and open the season. Is there a little added excitement for that opportunity?
100%. I mean, there's always a little more excitement, and there's another edge to it that you're going into a Power 4 house, and better competition. That means you just got to play harder, and it's always a blessing to be able to play anyone, but especially teams of that caliber for sure.
Well, and you guys have fared pretty well. You've held your own historically against teams like this. Is there kind of viewing it as an opportunity as you go in here to maybe put ODU a little bit more on the map?
Yeah. Anytime you're going to play a team that's Power 4 team, that's always a great opportunity to go and show what we can do and definitely put ODU on the map.
How does the preparation change from before just playing against yourselves to now having an opponent circled on the calendar?
The preparation shouldn't be that much different besides just getting different looks, different, schemes that you're going against, and, probably spend more time in the film room, more time game planning about what you got to do. But other than that, I feel like preparation, for whether it's camp or spring ball or during a week like this, it should be pretty similar just to, go out there and compete.
When was the first time you looked at Indiana film?
I've peeked at it a little bit over the summer, but we've really dived into it, recently.
What do you think
What do I think?
of Indiana?
They're a good team, no doubt. But any competition for us, we're going to come out there and do our thing.
They were second nationally in total defense last year. How does that kind of play into like wrinkles you guys throw in, or how your preparation and all? I know that was last year, but they do have a good bit of personnel back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great defense that you just brought up, but I feel like our schemes and what we plan to do, and the guys we have a very capable team, and we're confident in what we can do, and we're just going to go out there and play our best and compete. That's all we can do.
Where do you think the offense took the biggest leap from the beginning of fall camp to now?
I would say we've definitely just we're a lot more crisp now. So, when you bring a ton of new guys together in the spring and in the fall, going over the plays for the first time, it gets a little sloppy, but we've definitely tightened things up, and we're definitely firing on all cylinders right now.
Having guys like Botros and Zach, and having played in the Big Ten, have you had a chance to talk to them in terms of what to expect?
No, I haven't really talked to them about just playing like that. I mean, any team that we play, we're gonna prepare the same and go out there and show what we can do.
What does it do for a quarterback to look in front of you and see all the experience up there blocking for you?
It's amazing knowing that, Joyce at center, he's super smart and he's been in the game for a while, so I have like full confidence in, whatever he IDs up front, like I'm good with whatever he's gonna do, and I'm confident everyone else, behind him and the whole offensive line, they're a great group of guys, and they're special players, and I can't wait to see how they do against any opponent put in their face.
Any other questions for Cole?
Thanks, man.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Colton.
What's up, Jeremy? How you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Good, Jeremy.
James, you want to start it off with Jeremy?
Yeah, I got you. All right, Jeremy, first of all, team captain, man, how's that sound?
It sound good. I think it come with a lot of pressure because you know you got to meet the standards every day. But you know I like the challenge.
When coach told you were going to get that honor, what was your first reaction?
First I wanted to think if I was deserving of it, but like I said, you know, just stacking days, taking it day by day, and doing what I can do.
When it comes to playing a Big Ten opponent, getting ready for the environment, getting ready for the atmosphere of it all, you know, what does coach tell you about, because obviously he came from the Big Ten, right? So what does he kind of tell you about that environment?
I think early on in my career, I was able to play against some good teams, so in like big environments like that. So me, you know, I'm a big football fan. I think I like the challenge, like going up there in Indiana and playing around a whole lot of red.
It also helped too your reputation as a program. I mean, pushed South Carolina last year, beating Virginia Tech twice. What does that say about you guys in terms of confidence?
I think it say that we're competitive. You know, like we're gonna come out there and give it our all every time.
It's kind of the excitement level, right, this week? I mean, is it kind of like kid at Christmas feeling a little bit? Just kind of, you know, that first game being able to hit someone else?
Yeah, you know, we players, so you know it come with all of it. So taking it day by day and stacking.
Having played linebacker and safety, how's that versatility help you prepare?
I think it made me like a hybrid where I can, where like me playing a linebacker, I can be in a zone and covering, and you know, and I can also be physical. So I think it benefited me in a good way.
Any other questions for Jeremy? All right, thank you, guys.